Module 9, Viśoka. Viśoka is discussed at length in Sutra 136, which for the Himalayan tradition and for the tradition of Śri Vidya, Sutra 136 is the heart and soul of why we practice and what we hope to experience by virtue of practicing. Viśoka is a state that is our core essence and is described as joyful beyond the reach of any trace of suffering. So this engagement with Tantric Yoga sadhana is intended to deliver us home to this aspect of ourself that has the capacity to be fully present and engaged with the external world, and yet remain untarnished by it, unscathed by it, untouched by the suffering, not in a way where we become so dispassionate, so non-attached that we're no longer fully human and yet not tossed about mercilessly by the pain and pleasure, highs and lows of the external world. When we can become permanently tethered, very, very well established in this part of ourself, it makes it possible for us to weather all of the storms of the external world and maintain our peace and our equanimity, not necessarily all the time. You are going to continue to be fully human. So when something upsetting happens, you will feel the appropriate emotions, but you'll be able to pull yourself back, recenter, reconnect to what is real, true within you. And then from that place of deep inner connection, be able to engage in the external world in a way that aligns with who and what you truly are. So we gradually, by becoming established in this state of Viśoka, this space, if you will, of Viśoka internally, we are able to be with not only what is unfolding in the present world externally, but also what we are still holding on to from our past internally. We're able to be with it, to see it, to offer acceptance, compassion, in some cases, gratitude, love. And through that slow but steady, incremental peacemaking within ourselves, we have the capacity to then become peacemakers in whatever way, shape, or form in the external world. So that's what this entire orientation to practice is. That's what the entire tradition is centered around. So we would be remiss to leave it out of the training. There is something called Viśoka meditation, which Panditji, my teacher and the spiritual head of the Himalayan tradition, has brought to us in modern language and modern context just within the last several years. That is in no way to suggest that Viśoka meditation is new. It's quite ancient. And the various masters that have contributed their wisdom and shared Viśoka in a context that was appropriate for their time and space include, but are not limited to, sages such as Kapila, who was the seer of Sankhya philosophy. So it's been around for a while. The Buddha, and Narada, which is a sage that we'll learn about in a few different contexts, and Patanjali himself, the author of the Yoga Sutra, and then also Shankaracharya, who is the most recent Himalayan master to have been written down in our record keeping, if you will, of the masters of the tradition. These are all great masters that have contributed to their wisdom, their direct experience to Viśoka meditation as it has continued to evolve over the years as necessary in order to be the proper medicine for whatever generation it's being shared with. And Panditji has diluted it, no, not diluted it, the opposite of that, distilled it to its essence, and then shared it in a system that works very well for the modern mind and the modern nervous system, and walks us step by step in the direction of this inner experience of Viśoka. We will look at Sutra 136, particularly because some of you may not yet be familiar with Viśoka meditation, stage 1. We will also look at Sutra 334, which gives us much more in-depth insight and understanding of Viśoka meditation, stage 2. I want to be very clear that we will be engaging with Viśoka meditation, both stage 1 and stage 2, as practitioners. There are certain elements, preparatory elements, that absolutely I highly, highly encourage you to share with your students, but this isn't going to certify you to become a Viśoka meditation teacher. There is a whole separate track, Viśoka meditation, that leads you to that certification. And if you fall as in love with this methodology as I have, then I will be very happy to be writing your letter of referral to the Himalayan Institute so that you can pursue that. Both Pamela and Steph have, for example, the assistance on this training. But just to be very clear, this is not that, because it is a standalone practice that the Himalayan Institute really is highly invested in preserving and passing forward with as much sort of diligence around clarity and consistency as possible. So there, I've done my due diligence of making sure that that is clear. We will be incorporating Viśoka meditation or its preparatory techniques in some way, shape, or form virtually every time we sit and close our eyes. So you will become exceedingly familiar with this methodology, and hopefully over the course of our 16 months together, get at least those first glimmers of what Viśoka is on a felt sense. And those first glimmers are enough to inspire us and to affirm that it is indeed real, and hopefully keep that fire lit for us to continue moving forward on the path. Okie dokie.